Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. This past week, Vice reported that Ukraine had released a paper from some astronomers in Ukraine that they're seeing UFOs all over Kyiv, above their capital. That article in Vice came out on the 13th of September. And here's an article from the 14th of September that was published in the New York Post. And the headline reads, Ukrainian astronomers claim UFOs everywhere over Kyiv. And then here's the article. Ukrainian astronomers say the skies over their war-torn country are crowded not only with Russian missiles, but a large number of UFOs. The surprising claims were outlined in a new research paper published by the main astronomical observatory of Ukraine's National Academy of Science. The paper, titled Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, Observations of Events, claims that researchers have detected numerous UFOs from two meteor observation stations in Kyiv and a nearby village, about 75 miles outside the capital. We see them everywhere. We observe a significant number of objects whose nature is not clear, the authors of the paper write. Flights of single, group, and squadrons of the ships were detected, moving at speeds from 3 to 15 degrees per second. Ukrainian scientists involved in the study described two different types of UFOs, which they call cosmics and phantoms. According to the paper, a cosmic is a luminous object that appears brighter than the background of the sky, while a phantom is a dark object with a completely black body that does not emit and absorbs all the radiation falling on it. The main characteristic of the UFOs observed by Kyiv's astronomers is their extremely high speed, which can only be detected with specialized equipment. The eye does not fix phenomena lasting less than 1/10 of a second, the study says. It takes 4/10 of a second to recognize an event. Ordinary photo and video recordings will not capture the UFO. To detect UAP, you need to fine-tune the equipment, shutter speed, frame rate, and dynamic range. Using color video cameras with fine-tuned shutter speed, frame rate, and range positioned at the two meteor observation stations, the researchers said they were able to record the objects zooming through the sky. A composite image of a phantom included in the paper shows the unidentified dark object moving through space. The paper does not say what these objects might be and makes no references to the ongoing war, now in its 7th month, which has seen Russian missiles raining down on Ukrainian cities. Now, right after this article came out, the original article, not this one here, but the first article, the first report on this paper that was released by Ukrainian astronomers, the debunkers hit the Twitter airwaves really quick. Here's Keith Clore, science writer Keith Clore, and here's what he says about the Vice article. Journalism at its worst. Single source article based on unpublished, non-peer-reviewed paper. No relevant experts cited or quoted to speak to credibility of the science. Motherboard, which is what's Vice. What is wrong with you? That was just one of the comments, and of course, also the biggest UFO debunker of our age, Mick West, had to weigh in. And right away, he jumped to conclusions right away. And he wrote, this Ukrainian UFO study appears to be deeply flawed, if not an outright hoax. They present no verifiable data, give no details as to their derivation of distance, and present images that are consistent with insects close to the camera. So he had a picture of insects close to the camera butted up against the picture that was provided in that research paper that the astronomers from Ukraine had presented. I don't know. I mean, this paper, right? I looked at the paper. I read through this paper, and I can't comment as to the scientific veracity of this. I'm sure that these science writers like Mick West and Keith Clore are probably correct in that it's not a well-done research paper. But at the same time, to come out this quickly against something, I mean, for one thing, do we even know maybe some of the stuff is classified? They didn't ask enough questions here. And to say that it's a hoax, to come right out and say that it's a hoax, like how could you say that? I mean, this is a group of astronomers in Ukraine, and you're saying what they're doing is a hoax. I don't see how you could come off saying something like that right out of the gate. I think a little bit more study is involved. I mean, again, this is that they have to jump on these things, especially when a story comes out about UFOs. We were just talking about this. We talk about it all the time. When a story comes out about UFOs, particularly in a major publication like Vice, and then all these other newspapers and news outlets that followed up on it, when these kind of things come out, you see debunkers jumping at it. I think this is one of the cases where the information coming out of Ukraine is pretty weak. I mean, I looked at the paper. It doesn't really provide a lot of scientific data like what they say that should have been included. So in a way, I do agree with them there. But at the same time, I think you need more information before you start, screaming out hoax, hoax. I think you need to gather more information on this. Now, apparently there was some of these things were being filmed from two different spots. So if they're filmed from two different spots, how could the bug, if they're bugs like Mick West is trying to say here, they're filming bugs 75 miles away, two different spots 75 miles away, they're capturing the same bugs? So that doesn't make any sense. Again, there could be some information, some data that's classified that cannot be part of the report. They have no idea about any of this stuff. These scientists, these astronomers from Ukraine are saying that they're capturing objects that are in the sky that are incredible to them. And who would know more than they're the ones who have been studying it for months, and within 5 minutes the debunkers say, no. I don't know how you could come to that conclusion. Maybe they needed a few days for it to do some more research before they start, going around like town criers, hoax, hoax. I honestly, it's sickening. But the thing, the truth of the matter is, there's something out there anyway. Regardless if these were actual UAP, some sort of object that's controlled by extraterrestrials, or whether they're insects, that doesn't matter in this case. It does matter, but it really doesn't matter because there's still things out there. These guys don't believe in that stuff, right? None of these debunkers believe in that kind of stuff, and they don't want to even do any kind of serious research. Here you have a great example of debunker research compared to scientific research. The debunker takes 5 minutes to make their mind up. 5 minutes. This story comes out on Vice on the 13th. They're coming out right away, right after that story comes out. There's nothing here. This is a joke. Where these scientists were studying this for months and months. While their country's being attacked by Russia the whole time on top of it. And they're going to just come out and just say, no, it could be that this is junk. This is junk science. Well, maybe the paper's incomplete. Okay, I'll give you that. However, at least how about doing your own study before you start calling people hoaxers? Okay, astronomers from some country, another country, that you're calling them hoaxers. Basically, that's what you said. In fact, there was some of Mick's followers actually called him out on that on here, saying, how do you know that? Some of the stuff could be classified. And of course, Keith Clore, had to chime in more on this. People were saying it's flawed, and Clore's there. It's more than deeply flawed. It's absolute gibberish. And yet a major journalism outlet fell for it. This crazy paper picked up by Vice reads like something out of The Onion. I don't even know where to begin. We observed a broad range of UAPs everywhere. We state a significant number of objects whose nature is not clear. Then he has a bunch of emojis with laughing with tears coming out of their eyes. This is the extent of the debunker response. They're just completely act like an idiot and a jerk and try to make the people who present this paper look like fools, and the news outlets that reported it make them try to look like fools, and don't do any real research yourself though. Just throw it out there. Just throw words out there without even really looking into it yourself. It's a very disgusting approach to the whole subject. And even somebody here says something to Mick West, one of the comments back to Mick West. Why does it even matter if they present verifiable data? You won't believe it anyway. So true. So true. He would throw, if there was any verifiable data, and if there is any verifiable data in that report, they're not going to even talk about that. He'll just come up with some other excuse. They'll come up with some other excuse to say that, it's not what they're saying it is. It's not. There's nothing to see here. It's only probably bugs, And that's, again, they have to come out with it right away. They have to come out with an answer to these things right away, all the time. And this is another one of those cases. And again, I was just talking about UFO debunkerism the other day, and this is one of the cases where this is one of those kind of cases where the evidence is pretty weak, and they love these kind of cases where there's not a lot of data to go. I mean, this paper is obviously somewhat flawed. Again, we don't know a lot though. There needs to be more questions asked. Some of the data maybe might be classified, which these guys didn't even look into. But hey, let's look at the other flip side of this. Say there are objects. They're seeing objects flying over Kyiv in the middle of a devastating war that's going on there. And meanwhile, there's, what if these are extraterrestrial controlled craft? Why are they there? What are they doing there? Are they just monitoring what's going on? Are they business as usual for them? Are they just still continuing their abduction policy, their program? Doesn't matter if there's a war or not. Who knows? It's all speculation as to what. But again, I think it's very interesting that you have some astronomers, even in the midst of a devastating conflict that's going on, that they're still, studying other things, even though there's a war all around them. Kiev has, been bombarded, and here they're studying UFOs at the same time. I think that's admirable. But, they come out with a study, and the next thing you know, you have a bunch of debunkers, basically taking a piss on it.